Hey, it's the coach, Laurie McNaughton, scaleupbizcoach.com, lauriemcnaughton.com. It is the 7th of January, and I want to ask you a question. How many of you are following your plan that you made for 2025? How many of you made a plan for 2025? I'm sure you've all heard this before. People don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. I'm just going to make an argument for those of you who haven't sat down and really created a solid business plan for 2025 that you should do that. And if you haven't done it already, start doing it right away. If you've done it, but you haven't read it since you've done it, reread it. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. That's from Alice in Wonderland. One of the challenges that I see with so many clients that I've worked with in the past is lack of direction. More than anything else, lack of direction. Whether that's a focus on growth, meaning we need to increase the number of clients we're working with, and in conjunction with a focus in on more profit. What I mean by more profit is a percentage of your revenue, meaning net profit. So, how many of you have set your revenue goals for this year? And then more importantly, how many of you have set your profit goals for this year? Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. I would much rather that you focus in on increasing the profit margin or the net profit margin in your company than growing it as a revenue standpoint. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. One of them is that if you're not making money, if you're not making enough profit, but you sell more, there's a significant chance that it could tank your business because you need to be making a certain amount of profit for a number of reasons. One of them is cash flow. Cash flow is king, you know that. If for whatever reason your cash flow dries up, banks do not look at receivables as, they will, up to 30, I think, 60 days, but 90 days and beyond, they won't look at as part of an asset to your company because they believe it's a good possibility that it's uncollectible. I forget whether it's 90 or 120 days, but it doesn't really matter. The point that I want to make is to focus in on making more net profit. And just to give you some indications of the power that this has, if you're selling, say, $10 million or creating 10 million in revenue or 20 million in revenue, and you're making 4.5%, 3%, 5% net profit, and you add a single percentage point onto that, it's a significant amount of money. Now, having said that, when you're setting your goals, you should be looking at a minimum of 10% net profit. 10%. I went through this just in the last 3 years with one of my clients, one of my long-term clients, who was like knocking it out of the park in terms of revenue growth, but the net profit continued to falter, if I could call it that. So I spoke to him one day and I said, listen, we got to set a cut and dried goal, 10% net. That's all, no less than that. So that was 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, he hit that elusive 10% net. And this past year, this last fiscal year for him, a little over 14% net on $21 million in revenue. That's literally going for someplace around 4.5%, 5% net, previous to us saying 10% is the bottom line. And even we didn't say this year that let's boost it to 14% or 15%. We just said 10% is the bottom line. And then we focused in on strategies that would improve the profitability of the company. And guess what happened? Lo and behold, surprise, surprise, more profit. So that came about from planning, figuring out what the basic strategies are that would allow the company to grow from a profitable standpoint, because In the last year, in fact, his revenue went down by not a large amount, but a little bit. And still, he made a lot more profit. Anyways, so you got to really, when you're doing your planning, is to set those revenue goals and profit goals to start with. And then you want to start to figure out, okay, what are the key people are, what are the key positions I'm going to need to have in place in order for this to work and not completely suck me into working all the time. Because the idea is for you as the business owner is to do more with less. And when I look at people's financial statements, typically I see there's a lot of room for improvement from that standpoint. If you think about the break-even point in a company, so that's when your fixed expenses and your cost of goods sold or variable expenses cross the line with your revenue, and at that point you start to profit. You create profit. So we want to maximize that profitability, and so specific strategies that will help do that. And it could be around systems and processes. It could be around people. It could be creating regular meeting structure. It could be as simple as doing positional agreements, or the old term job descriptions. Creating a clear line of what people's roles and responsibilities are. Is there different markets you want to move into? Is there other cities? Do you want to go national, international? Whatever that is, you got to also look at doing a SWOT analysis. So what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where's the opportunities and what are the threats? This is all part of your strategic planning. If you haven't done that, you need to sit down and do that. I think of the guy that I just spoke about, and I'm talking to another fellow that I worked with in the construction industry, drywall industry. He was not a sub trade, but a contractor, and he grew his business from 3 million to 5 million to 9 million, and hit over 11% net profit, and it was in part because he did strategic planning and then followed the plan. And the nice thing about this gentleman's business is that he was working 7 days a week when I started working with him. Now I think he's probably working a couple of weeks a month because he spends a lot of time on other adventures, if I could call it that. Anyways, there's all kinds of opportunity to grow and expand your business, but without a plan, it's very difficult to do. And one of the things that I see with so many clients and people who should have been clients is that their business creates more chaos. And so if you don't put the structures and systems in place, you can't handle it. Your business can't handle it. And I can tell you, I've talked to thousands of businesses over the past 2 decades, and some I wish they're no longer around, and I just wish I could have been more, I don't know, influential, more persuasive, to get them to get involved with what I do, because I help business owners scale up their businesses so that they also and also so they don't burn out. And I know, because like I said, I've talked to a lot of business owners, and I've called them back, a year, 2, 3 years, 5 years later, and they're gone. And most of the time, it's just because they've completely burned out. I would say, there's a bunch of reasons why businesses go out of business, but one of the keys is burnout. It's like there's only so many hours in a day that you can work for so long. When you're young, you think you're full of it. You can work 7 days a week and 12, 14-hour days, and boy, I'm just going to make this happen. That doesn't last forever. As I mentioned with this guy that I was just speaking about, he was working 7 days a week. 7 days a week. He was 60, 70 pounds overweight, not in good health. And again, now he's got this business that basically kicks out a nice piece of profit for him every year. He's lost all that weight. He's doing all kinds of things. I don't want to get into too many details about it, because although I have a testimonial on my website from him, in his business. I don't want to give away too many details because I just don't think that I need to be sharing that kind of detailed information. Another guy that I worked with had a renovation company. Again, small renovation company doing 900,000 was the year prior to him and I working together. Grew that business to $3 million. Oh, by the way, he was working 7 days a week and he had lost money. The very next year, he gave himself, because he made a lot of money, he gave himself a nice healthy raise where he was, adding a significant amount of money to his personal account. And again, working, got down to a 45-hour work week. So planning is essential. Planning is essential. I've already built my plan for 2025. I look at it probably 2-3 times a week just to keep me focused on it, because in my practice, I'm looking at how do I do more with less. And so this coming year in 2025, one of the things that I'm going to be doing more of is I'm going to create a free online group so people can meet once a month, and I'll talk some business strategy and talk about some ideas, concepts related to business, but also related to, how do we get the best out of us? How do we get best out of our teams? It's going to be completely free. We're just going to meet once a month. There's going to be no assets in terms of, tools that I'm going to offer for the free community. But then I'm going to have a paid community as well. And I'm going to basically offer the same thing, but you're going to get tools, assets that will help you, plan things, help you set up structure, help you create systems and processes in your business. And then I'm also going to be bringing people into a group coaching setting. So there'll be more people in a room. We'll be doing this all via Zoom. And the purpose for that, again, is that I don't want to work so much one-on-one with people to the point where I'm feeling like I'm being stressed out, stretched to the maximum. So I want to do one-to-many, and that also allows me to fulfill more of what I believe my mission and my vision is for my little practice. So there'll be one-to-many, and then, I may allow maybe just a handful of one-to-one clients who want to have more of that touch base with me on a more regular basis. And again, part of my strategic planning is like, I look at my vision and my mission for my little company all the time. And I redid mine this year, and I'm actually quite excited about it. I'm just going to read it to you because it's relevant. My vision is to create a world where every individual and business thrives, making the world a better place for all. Now, I say that because I'm a big supporter of the middle class, small and medium-sized companies. I'm not as big a fan of these big, multinational corporations that are really kind of taking over the world. I'm not going to go down that road. I want to help expand the middle class, because I know if you make more money, the people that work for you will make more money. They'll be more satisfied. To me, that's what creates a healthy economy. And then my mission is to make personal and professional development accessible and affordable for everyone, empowering individuals and businesses to unlock their full potential. I've been at this business coaching now for 21 years this year. But I've got 35 years experience of both personal and professional development. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on personal and professional development, and every penny of it has come back to me tenfold. Now, I realize that not everybody can step up and say, I'm going to, invest $10,000 in a course for myself, a program for myself. Or even for some companies, you can't afford to spend $10,000 on individuals. So I look at it from the perspective of, if you own a business, having better people employed, having people that are inspired and enrolled to help you grow your business is a good thing for everybody. And as a company, if you spend $10,000, for instance, and you get 5, 10 of your people uh, some really solid soft skill, personal development kind of stuff, as well as professional development, it's going to pay you dividends in your business. Okay, this has been a fairly lengthy uh, YouTube video that I'm going to post here. But just keep in mind that if you haven't created a plan, start creating a plan. Part of the bonus of creating a plan is working on the plan, because it gets you thinking about your business. It gets you thinking about the products and services that you offer. It gets you thinking about your team. It gets you thinking about your customers. It gets you thinking about your community. It gets you thinking about yourself and the impact that this business is having for you and your family. And of course, like I said, your team and the community as a whole. And I'm going to finish with this, is to really look at creating a purpose for your business, more than just this idea of like, I need to make a living, or I need to make money, or I want to make gobs, whatever that is for you. Think more about the impact that your business has on the people who work for you, people who do business with you, and your community as a whole. Think about what that means, because ultimately, when the going gets tough, and it will get tough, I almost guarantee you that, when you look back and you say, this is why I'm doing it, because those 10, those 50, those 100 people rely on us to create a great business, and our community relies on us to, add value to the community. When you do that, it'll inspire you to get up a little earlier, motivated, ready to take on the day, versus all the other things that are related to creating a business that causes all kinds of stress and anxiety. And I'm not going to get too far down that today. I'm going to share more information about that, because just to tie in, if you have a stressful business, or you have a stressful life, and you're oftentimes feeling anxious about things, you're not at your best, and neither is anybody that works for you. So if you're interested in being involved with either from a one-to-one or one-to-many, and or either the free online group and or the paid group, message me, send me a direct message, go on my website. You can go to my website, go to lauriemcnaughton.com or scaleupbizcoach.com, and you can scroll down and there's a link in there. You can book a 15-minute discovery meeting in there. And in that 15 minutes, we'll talk about, your business, where it's at, where you started, where you want it to go, what are some of the challenges. I'll talk about some of the solutions in a 15 minutes, because I just want to, at that point, first of all, figure out if there's some synergy between us, whether or not I feel like we can work together, and you can feel me out as well. And also for me to decide to figure out, is this something that I can help you with? And if I can help you with it, we'll book a complimentary coaching session where we'll dive in way deeper. We'll understand what the challenges are, the causes of the challenge, and then the solutions to those challenges. I'll share them with you in that hour. And if you want to take that information and run with it, awesome. If you go, you know what, I could use your help, we'll talk about a program that would fit your budget. Thanks again for listening. Don't forget to go to lauriemcnaughton.com, and there's a business blog on there it's loaded with awesome content that will help you, in many areas of your business. Thanks for listening. I look forward to the opportunity to meeting you one day and being of service. Take care and have a wonderful day.